Alright, what's up guys? We are back with another deck profile. I haven't done one of these in a long time, a physical deck profile, but Blue Eyes has come out, and I've done one for every single Blue Eyes deck that has ever come out, anytime there's been support, so I feel like I kind of need to do this. I've already done a couple of videos about a pure variant. This is the Primite variant. This is going to be with combos, in depth, with a lot of various tutorials throughout. But like I said, I've already done this. If you want to play the Magia build, the more pure build, that video is already on the channel. I have the combos, I have all of that already on there. Like I said, the Primite build is more consistent. But if you want to just like embarrass your opponent, beat up on your opponent, the pure version definitely puts up a more impressive board. But this version, if you want to win a YCS, you play this one. If you want to just like, you want to bully a little kid and try to summon for 15 turns, like summon for 15 minutes, you'd probably want to play the more combo heavy version, but you are compromising and playing a lot more bricks. But let's get started with this deck profile. We've got 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. For the most part, I have like the low rarity stuff because I didn't fish out all of my expensive like hand traps and stuff, because like I said, I haven't made a physical deck profile in a while. But we've got 2 Blue Eyes. You only need 2. I guess you could bump up to 3. Sometimes you do miss the 3rd Blue Eyes if something happens occasionally. Actually, funny enough, drawing the normal Blue Eyes is not even like that bad in a lot of situations, because you can actually combo off with the normal Blue Eyes, with like True Light and the Primite card. You actually can combo off with the normal Blue Eyes. It does occasionally help. So we've got the 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. We play 3 copies of Sage. Sage is a 1-card full combo. Not only Sage, but so is Maiden. They're both 1-card full combo. Sage is kind of crazy. Sage has an on normal summon effect. In normal summons, you get to add a level 1 tuner. That actually can be an effect veiler, which is kind of crazy. Can add effect veiler, which is a hand trap, and that on normal summon effect is not once per turn. If you have the field spell in field, you can summon this, add a effect veiler, normal summon another one, add an effect veiler. The first effect's not once per turn. The second effect does come up too. You can send a effect monster from the field to the graveyard, and then you can, like, along with this, and then you can special summon a Blue Eyes from the deck, which again is kind of useful. Next 3 copies of Maiden. Again, this is another one. This is full combo, 1-card combo. This is full combo, 1-card combo. 1 card plus discard, but the discard's not that much of a big deal. This lets you place True Light directly from the deck to the field, and then also if you summon a Blue Eyes, you get to summon this back too. Fantastic effects. Also, if it's targeted, you get to special summon a Blue Eyes or a Light Tuner, a level 1 Light Tuner from the graveyard. This is a hand trap, but technically it's a combo card too. It's a effect veiler. Obviously, it's searchable in this deck. Very, very searchable in this deck. And on top of being just incredibly searchable off of Sage, off of the, I have to check the name, Wishes, off the Wishes, because they changed the name on like Yugioh Pro and stuff. It's very searchable off of that and Sage, so you're always pretty much going to have this in rotation, but also you can actually just combo with it. If you normal summon it, you can make the link 1 with it. Again, if you have 2 effect veilers, you can actually do, not full combo, but you can get pretty far into your combo with just 2 effect veilers. It's actually pretty impressive, considering it's a hand trap. Next is Blue Eyes Jet. A lot of people have been cutting this. I don't cut this. I actually really like this card. It is unbelievably great for the grind game. This card is absolutely insane in the grind game. Like, I really like this card. Every time a card gets popped, you get to summon it for free, and if it battles, you get to return a card to the field. Also protects all other cards in your field from getting destroyed. Like, I really like this card. It helps you win grind games so well. The grind game in this deck is probably actually one of its greatest characteristics, because that used to be, when Blue Eyes first started getting the stones, that was one of the great parts of Blue Eyes, and then as it got more and more power crept, it became less and less good in the grind game, and all of this new support made this deck so much better in the grind game. This makes the grind game even better. You could argue this is a win more card. Another card that I play is Master. This is, again, a lot of people have been cutting this card. It's kind of like optional. I think it's, again, very good. It lets you add back a level 1 tuner from graveyard. You can add back Effect Veiler. You can add back Sage, and it can help you in a variety of different combos. Also has a graveyard effect where you can target a monster, effect monster, send it to the graveyard, special summon a Blue Eyes from your graveyard. Again, that can really help. And if you target the Maiden, you get to special summon something from the graveyard. Next, for the hand traps, we play 3 Ash Blossoms. You get to play a lot of hand traps. There's so much room for hand traps in this deck again, and if you really wanted to hyper optimize, you could cut out these 2, and then you could easily play 3 more hand traps. Like if you want to cut that out, and there's another card that I'll show you later, you could again even cut down even more on that. Next, we play the Primite cards. These are very good. You have Primite, Ether Barrel. This card on summon, on normal summon, lets you set a Primite card. Plays around Ash, but doesn't play around, I guess, Effect Veiler and it plays around Droll. It doesn't play around like Effect Veiler and stuff like that, but it's still very good because it lets you set any Primite card face down. Also, during your standby phase, it has another crazy effect where if this is in the graveyard and you have a normal monster in your graveyard or like in circulation on your field, you can add this back to your hand for free every standby phase until the end of time. And that's why I think this card, like once you get that in rotation and like Blue Eyes Jet Dragon in rotation, it's just it's kind of curtains. You have so much in rotation that your grind game is absolutely almost impossible to play through. Next, we play 3 copies of Lordly Load. This is another amazing starter. On activation, this searches any Primite card. So you can either search the Primite Dragon, or you can search the Drill Beam, which most of the time you'll be searching Drill Beam. But you can search a Primite card, and then it has another effect where you can special summon a normal monster from your, I believe it's deck or graveyard. And when you summon that monster, you are locked, and you can't activate any more special summon monsters, which isn't like a huge concern because you usually do this at the end of your combo, and it doesn't really matter. You summon like you can just use that at the end to make like an extra Heretic or something. Like you just put an extra monster on board. It's useful, but it's way at the end. That effect is also really, really good. Also, it makes your monsters gain 300 attack for every normal monster or Primite monster you control, but with different names in the graveyard, but all of them are named Blue Eyes. But that effect's not really that important. The most important effect is the special summoning, but even more just the searching. And then you've got Drill Beam. This card is insanely good. If you control, you can either reveal a Primite or a normal monster in your hand, or if you control a Primite monster that is level 5 or higher, or a normal monster on your field, you can activate this card, and then you can target a card your opponent controls, negate it, and banish it, which is unbelievable. I think the most unbelievable thing about this card is if you control a Primite monster, you can actually set this card back from your graveyard for free, and it doesn't banish itself when it leaves the field. It's just for free. It adds itself back, or sets itself back. So this card adds itself back, this card sets itself back. The grind game, like I said, is absolutely unbelievable, and it's why I think this build is just so much better than the pure build. The pure build with Magi is like really cool. It makes really impressive boards. But this build is just, it's so consistent. It's hard to beat consistency. Next is Wishes. This card is, it's like, we used to play Melody of the Awakening Dragons. This card is Melody of the Awakening Dragons, but better. It does something that the deck was never really able to do very well, which is add a level 1 tuner. So it can add a level 1 tuner, and adds a spell trap card that lists Blue Eyes in it. So you can add a Blue Eye spell trap card, level 1 tuner, and then on top of that it has a graveyard effect. You can banish it, and then you can equip a monster from your extra deck to a monster that you control, a Blue Eyes monster. So you can equip, for example, Neo Blue Eyes, and then that can help you summon Tyrant Dragon just by tributing it, or you can it helps put Neo Ultimate Dragon in the graveyard. This gives you targeting protection, so that's fairly useful there. You've got that, and then you've got 1 Mausoleum. It's searchable off the link 1. It gives you an extra normal summon unless you send Blue Eyes for free. Very important. Roar, special summons of Blue Eyes from pretty much anywhere. Has a graveyard effect at the bottom that doesn't really come up for us, but it's, I mean, it technically sometimes comes up. It lets you fusion summon with stuff you control. In weird grind games, it could actually come up. 1 Ultimate Fusion. This is another card that it's kind of optional. You could technically cut it, but it's pretty good for recycling, put things back into the deck. It can actually come up in certain situations, and you can win with Tyrant Dragon, although you have other ways to fusion summon. 1 Synchro Rumble, again, another kind of like optional card. It's you could argue a win more card because you search it off the Crimson Dragon, but you would have to already get to the Crimson Dragon for it to really matter. But even without the Crimson Dragon, it does lets you summon a tuner, which is kind of nice from your graveyard, so it can help you with some recovery. 1 call by, just because it's useful. 3 infinite impermanence. 3 Dominus Purge. This card is, again, it's pretty good. It lets you negate a card that searches and then destroy it if you have a trap card in the graveyard. You can activate it from your hand if your opponent controls a card. This card is another one that is like quite good. It does lock you into not using Dark Water and Fire monsters for the rest of the turn. The only one that we play is Ash, and by then you've already probably used the Ash. When you need to activate that, you've already used the Ash. We play 1 copy of Majesty of the White Dragons. This is another amazing card. It is, again, if you want to cut down the bricks and cut out the Ultimate Fusion, stuff like that, you can actually play more Nibiru's, Droll Lockbird, stuff like that. So if you include all of that stuff, you can make this deck even more consistent, more hand trap focused, which is perhaps what I'm going to end up doing in the long run. But the Majesty of the White Dragons, basically, you can reveal Blue Eyes from your hand, graveyard, or field. I believe it's hand, graveyard, or field. And then you can basically pop that many cards your opponent controls, non-targeting. You just reveal them, and let's say you reveal 2 Blue Eyes, pop that many. It's Blue Eyes White Dragon specifically, so the normal monster, but it's still non-targeting destruction, and you can set it back with Tyrant Dragon, which is pretty cool, and also lets you ritual summon. It doesn't really come up in our build, but it could help. And then we've got True Light, very important, set it for free off the Maiden. Alright, so for the extra deck, we've got 1 Tyrant Dragon, very easy to summon. You can summon it off the Ultimate Fusion, or you can summon it off of the Wishes when you equip the other monster off of it, because you can summon this by tributing. It's good because you can attack all monsters your opponent controls, so that can help win. And then on top of that, you can, when this battles, you can set back any trap card, so you can set back like True Light and Majesty and Dominus Purge and stuff like that. So in the grind game, again, this card is like actually really, really good. Neo Blue Eyes, this card you actually physically can't summon with the build that we're playing. We're only playing 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, so you actually can't summon it. But this has a graveyard effect that's really good, which you equip this with Wish and to any Blue Eyes with Wishes, and then if a Blue Eyes is targeted, you can, if this card's in the graveyard, banish it, negate, and destroy. So it can help you play around, I guess, hand traps, targeting, negates, stuff like that. Next we play 3 copies of Spirit Dragon. Spirit Dragon is extremely important. It's one of your main combo end board cards, I guess. It's just very important. It's like an extender, but it's also a negate. It's a very, very, very important card. It's extremely good for the deck. It lets you negate a graveyard effect, but more importantly, it lets you tag out into any light synchro dragon monster, which is absolutely broken. Also, if you're playing, depending on if you're playing pendulums, it can come up because it does have a floodgate effect that prevents your opponent from summoning 2 monsters simultaneously. Next we've got Lightstorm Dragon. This is a brand new common, just came out in the last set, but when this card is summoned, it lets you pop spawn trap cards equal to like tuners and stuff like that, but you can summon this pretty easily. Pop spawn trap cards, good against various dumb matchups. 1 copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. This guy negates. It helps you play around call by, helps you play around Bestials. This guy does a lot. It prevents all blue cards in your graveyard from being banished by your opponent, so you can play around Bestials. Yeah, it negates a card on the field. It gains attack during the end phase. If it's destroyed, you can special summon back a Blue Eyes, really useful. Cypher Dragon, another kind of monster that you can tag out into. Well, not really tag it out into. This is, you need Crimson Dragon for this. To summon Cypher, you need Crimson Dragon. So I play a few different. You can summon this for free off of Spirit Dragon. Activate this effect. Basically copy another one, put this back, and then you can either summon Cypher or Cosmic Blazar for free. This one can negate a summon, a spell trap card, monster activation, or an attack. Banish itself and then comes back. This one negates a monster effect and then pops. Also, it has an effect to protect all cards you control once. So even though the effect of Spirit destroys the monster that it summons at the end phase, if you have Cypher on the field, it protects your monster from being destroyed, and then it just kind of gets around that, and for the rest of the time you get to basically keep your monster. Then we play 1 copy of Indigo. This is the new card. This guy you basically just play against the Makenko matchup and the Yubel matchup. Just annoying matchups where your opponent has like these cards that would inflict damage to you, just in general, it's just really annoying cards. Like if they have Nightmare Pain. If they have Nightmare Pain and you don't want to do damage to yourself, you can just summon this, negate everything they control, negate all of their just effects so they can't be destroyed by battle, just attack into them. It can be very useful. So it has like 4,000 attack. So if they have like a Yubel with 0 attack, you negate it, attack with this, 4,000 damage, and you're halfway to winning. One Hope Harbinger, he comes up sometimes. 2 copies of Spirit, extremely important, searches the field spell, and then on top of that, you can tribute and special summon Blue Eyes from the graveyard, which is pretty important for the combo. And we've got 1 Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. All important stuff. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you guys combo number 1. So the combo number 1 is basically just a Primite Ether Barrel. This combo plays through Droll. This combo plays through Effect Veiler. This combo basically plays through every single. I don't even know a hand trap that could probably stop this, but this combo basically plays for everything. It's just this, and this is going to illustrate why the Primite engine is so damn good. So we're going to normal summon the Primite Ether Barrel, activate its effect. Now, most opponents will not negate this card, and even if you're playing this deck, you shouldn't negate this effect, because in reality, the card that you want to negate is Spirit. That's the card that you want to negate in this deck, not Ether Barrel. So you do not want to Effect Veiler this. So you summon this, we're going to activate the Ether Barrel. We're going to set a Primite card. So we're going to set the Lordly Load, activate the Lordly Load. This will allow me to, again, it will allow me to add a Primite card from my deck to my hand. So right here, our opponent can Droll us. They can also Ash this if they really wanted to, but like I said, most of the time they're going to be Ashing the Spirit Dragon. This is the card that you want to negate, not this. But if they Ash this, it is what it is. Then we do, different. But if they Droll this, I'm going to show you again how to play through this. So we're going to add the Drill Beam, and now we're going to link this away, summon the Spirit. We're going to activate the effect of Spirit to search. If our opponent Ashes this, Effect Veilers this, Imperms this, again, we're fine. It doesn't matter. But just to illustrate, I'm going to activate, I'm going to get Mausoleum. I'm going to use Mausoleum to send a Blue Eyes. Now, again, if they negate this, it's fine, because then the Primite Lordly Load still comes in clutch. It doesn't really matter. So if they negate this, then we activate the Lordly Load to special summon a Blue Eyes from our deck. But if they do not, then we just activate this to special summon Blue Eyes. So either way, it doesn't matter. We either summon from graveyard or we summon from deck. It literally doesn't matter, because we end on the same thing. You just got to keep a Blue Eyes in your deck for later. I'm going to show you why. So again, if they Ash this or pop this or stop this, use Primate Lordly Load to summon this from the deck. If not, summon it from the graveyard. So we're going to declare this, summon Blue Eyes back from the graveyard, use these two to go into the Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, and this is our end board. It doesn't seem like much, but I'm going to show you why it's actually quite good. Again, this is off of 1 card, and it creates a grind game, and you have to understand, if we drew this for turn, and this is the only card that we have, that means the rest of our other cards are pretty much hand traps, because everything else is an extender that would have gotten us further. Master would have gotten us further. Every single card we basically have, Jet Dragon would have gotten us further. It would have made the grind game even better. Everything else we have is pretty much hand traps or 1 card starters, and we have a double normal summon. So if we have any other thing, it actually benefits us if we open. But let's just say we just open like Ether Barrel and 4 hand traps. This is what we can do. So we summon the Hieratic Seal, we go to our opponent's turn, our opponent plays a card, we contribute this, bounce their card, non-targeting, and then we can special summon a dragon from our deck, which in this case will be a Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then on our opponent's turn, if they activate an effect, we can activate Primite Drill Beam, target that card, and then we can negate it. And since we control a big monster, normal monster, we can negate it and we can banish it, which is also really strong. So we can negate and banish. So we basically have a bounce, a summon, and a negate and a banish, all off of a single card. When our opponent ends, because again, we probably had 4 hand traps outside of that, they go to end phase. During our turn, standby phase, we can add this back to our hand for free. We can normal summon it, and then since we control a Primite, we can actually place this back on the field for free. You can set it back. We can activate the Primite Lordly Load. We can special summon Blue Eyes again. We can go into a rank 8. We can go into another link 1 if we want to. Even without drawing any of the tuners, any of our main engine, we have this insane grind game loop that's going on where every turn we get a negate. We have rank 8 if we want to. We have this going into whatever it wants to. It's actually kind of an incredible loop, all things considered, because again, we haven't even really touched our Blue Eyes engine. This is just one engine, and it's already gotten us this far into things. It's gotten us multiple interruptions and cards over time, which again doesn't seem that much, but all of that was basically hand trap proof in a certain sense. Assuming again, you don't want to negate the Ether Barrel. Assuming you don't negate the Ether Barrel, which only a dumb opponent would do, it was actually kind of you actually got a lot done. Alright, next I'm going to show you the basic combo with Sage. Sage plus, you need Sage plus a discard for this combo. So we're going to put a discard plus Sage. This combo you can also do with other cards. So this is not like, oh, you have to draw Sage to do. No, you don't. You can actually also do this combo if you open Maiden. You can also do this combo if you open Maiden or if you open Wishes. So any one of these 3 cards, which we play at 3, which is realistically 9 copies, any one of these cards right here can do this full combo that I'm about to show you. Any one of these cards plus the combo, plus the discard. The discard you need for Wishes. That's it. That's the only reason you'd need it. But I'm going to do it with Sage just because it literally doesn't matter. You can do it with any one of these cards because you have to go through all 3 of them to do the full combo. But this is how you do the combo. You normal summon Sage, you activate the effect of Sage to search. This combo is not hand trap proof. This one you definitely, if you get hand trap, you pass, but we're playing such a high amount of hand traps that it's not the end of this. Any combo is hand trappable to a certain degree. So we're going to normal summon that, the Sage, and then we're going to be able to search for Maiden. Now we're going to activate the effect of Maiden. This lets us discard in order to place True Light to our field for free. This is just their discard, so we're going to leave it there. Next, we're going to switch this out into our Link monster. I'm going to summon Spirit. Spirit's going to let us add our copy of Mausoleum for free. Next, we're going to activate the effect of True Light to set a card that lists Blue Eyes spell trap card in its text. We're going to set Wishes right there. So now we're going to flip the Wishes. We're going to discard the random card. You have a few different options here. I'm going to go ahead and get Master, and I'm also going to grab Majesty. But if you want to go for like maximum interruptions, you can actually go for Effect Veiler plus Majesty, which is fine because you have an extra negate and you have the destruction. But I'm going to go for Master because I want to do a little bit more with the combos. I actually also like to put Master in Graveyard. He's very good. So I'm going to do those 2. This goes to Graveyard. Next, I'm going to... This gives me an extra normal summon, so I'm going to extra normal summon Master. Activate his effect to add back Sage for free. And now I can... I'm not going to tribute Spirit yet. I'm going to activate Mausoleum. That lets me target Master and send a Blue Eyes to the graveyard. I'm going to send Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard. This gains attack, but that doesn't matter. Our whole point was to just get that into the graveyard. We're going to tribute Spirit to special summon Blue Eyes onto the field. Since Blue Eyes is special summoned, we get to special summon Maiden free of charge, which is kind of nice. Next, we're going to banish Wishes. And if you're going second, this obviously, you do different stuff, but we're going to banish Wishes to attach Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to our Blue Eyes White Dragon. What's cool about this right now is that because this is equipped with a monster, you can actually go and tribute this Blue Eyes with the Ultimate Dragon to go directly into Tyrant Dragon, which is actually kind of like a cool little combo that you can do. So going first, Tyrant Dragon, there's no point to really summon him, but going second, he can attack all monsters your opponent controls. He's 3,400 attack, and on top of that, he can set back trap cards. So if you have trap cards in graveyard that you used previously, like Imperm or something like that, you can actually recycle them, or the Dominus Purge, you can recycle it for free, which is actually like kind of helpful. So we'll summon that for free, and then we are going to, from this point, use these 2, putting this in graveyard. We'll put those 2 in graveyard so we can summon our first Spirit Dragon to the field, right there. And then we're going to activate the effect of Sage, targeting this maiden. And if she's targeted, we get to special summon a monster from the graveyard. So we're going to target the Master in the graveyard. So we are going to target Master, but also target her. And we are going to send Sage to the graveyard to special summon a Blue Eyes from the deck. With the Sage, we are going to special summon out Jet for free. And then send her to the graveyard. And that'll special summon back Master. Free of charge again. So we're going to be able to link these two away in order to, or not link, I guess you can technically, but we're not playing anything that would link, but we're going to summon our second spirit, and this is pretty much going to be our end board. You can technically do a little bit more here with the Master in graveyard. He does have some cool recursion effects, so if we had like an extra loose monster on field, we could do something. He lets you basically send a monster to the graveyard and then special summon a Blue Eyes from the graveyard, so you can tag things out, kind of like switch things out, so you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so from this point we are still on our turn. We can actually use the effect of Spirit Dragon right now if you wanted to. You can tribute Spirit Dragon and then chain another Spirit Dragon. You can summon the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, the ultimate Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, and then you can also special summon the Crimson Dragon. You can activate the effect of Crimson Dragon to tag out. And then you can also use its on summon effect to add Synchro Rumble right here. You could add Synchro Rumble. And with the Synchro Rumble, you add this. Then you can use the effect of the Crimson Dragon, shuffle itself back into the extra deck, and then summon out Cypher Dragon. So Cypher Dragon has a cool effect to protect everything. That, again, can come up later. We can also use the effect of Synchro Rumble if we wanted to. Immediately we can activate the effect of Synchro Rumble, activate it now, and that will special summon back one of our tuners. We can special summon, for example, Sage. Then we can activate the effect of the Master in the graveyard, and then we can target Sage to send it to the graveyard in order to shuffle back Master into our back into our deck, and then we can summon back Jet. That'll also give us blanket protection for destruction, so we can do that. And this can be basically our end board, one of a variety of end boards. We can end on this, which would be the Jet, protecting everything on the field, including True Light. Majesty, which we can reveal 2 Blue Eyes, destroy non-targeting, a negate, a monster negate plus a pop, and this can be one of our end boards. But here's the alternative to that. Again, this is if you want to end on your turn with a board, so you're not susceptible to a variety of things on your opponent's turn. Okay, the alternative to summoning Cypher Dragon and stuff on your turn is to pass to your opponent. And if you pass to your opponent, this is basically what happens. You can go pass, and this is what you end on. You can pass. You can use these as graveyard negates first, depending on the matchup, or if you're playing against pendulums, you can just floodgate them by just having this on the field. But here, what you can do is you can activate Spirit Dragon. This is, I'm going to tell you how to play around Call by the Grave. You activate Spirit Dragon. If your opponent says, sure, that's fine, then you simply summon Spirit Dragon. Spirit Dragon prevents banishing in your graveyard. That's what you do if your opponent says, fine, no problem, you just summon this, and then later you activate in the second chain the other one. But if your opponent does not say it's fine, like let's say you have Spirit Dragon, you activate Spirit Dragon, your opponent's like, oh, Call by the Grave. You go, oh, Call by the Grave, chain the second one, chain link with the second one that you banished, you special summon out the Spirit Dragon. With the first one that you, then your opponent's Call by the Grave will resolve. Your monsters cannot be, your monsters cannot be banished in the graveyard anymore. So then, since they're not banished, they're not negated by the Call by the Grave. Summon Crimson Dragon, activate Crimson Dragon, search out the Synchro Rumble to your hand for free, and then you can activate this effect, target this, and then you can special summon Cosmic Blazar Dragon to the field for free. And now what you basically end on is a follow-up of Synchro Rumble, non-targeting destruction of 2, negate, monster spell trap, or summon, or an attack, and then negate a monster spell trap on field, and then on top of that this thing floats. So you're basically ending on all of these interruptions again off of a single card and a discard, and it's extremely consistent. Ton of hand traps to play through. Like I said, this deck is absolutely kind of outrageous, like what it can do with just a single card. And then again, with one card to end on all of this, and your follow-up is actually pretty crazy with these Primite cards, because if you manage to get these things into the loop, you can add this back, you can add back Drill Beam. You basically have infinite resources, and without playing all of the extra field spells and the Magia and the Chaos Max Dragon and stuff like that, it limits the amount of bricks in your deck to the point where you almost can't even call this like Brick Eyes White Dragon anymore. Like, you actually, in a lot of cases, kind of want to see the normal old Blue Eyes in your opening hand, because it actually can be somewhat helpful in certain situations. But this has been the deck profile. If you've got any questions whatsoever, like I said, I've been playtesting this deck for months now, so I've become pretty adept at it. If you have any questions, post it down below, and thank you for watching. La, 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 la.